Hello. If you're like me, you've probably faced some sort of a problem at some point in your life that you tried to solve by doing something like watching YouTube videos. And this could have been anything from something like gaining a new skill, or learning how to break a bad habit, or perhaps closely related to this video, trying to learn more about money and improve the way you handle it. And yet, even after watching dozens of videos, we still find ourselves exactly in the same spot month after month and year after year. And this gap between theoretical knowledge and our living reality is so frustrating to every single one of us. We know what we need to do, we just can't get it done. Of course, we don't always know what we need to do, but in the world we live in today, I believe the knowledge side is well taken care of. We are fortunate that access to financial education videos has never been easier, and yet we are still struggling financially. And the number of people on the edge of bankruptcy is continuing to rise. This gap between knowledge and reality is often a reminder of something we tend to forget. We are humans. Groundbreaking discovery. We are complex beings that behave strangely and unpredictably. And despite having access to an endless amount of information, we are still driven by a much bigger force known as emotions. We make decisions with our emotions and justify them with logic. Hence why, even after watching dozens of financial literacy videos, many people still make what's perceived as not so smart financial decisions. No one goes to crippling debt to buy a red Porsche because they like German efficiency. Same way no one buys a bigger house they really can't afford because it's a smart investment. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that their friends Brian and Susan also live in a big house. And if you are a human being watching this, I hope, then I can almost guarantee there is something in your home right now staring you at the face every day that you regret buying. And yet you always try to convince yourself that it was a logical decision. In fact, if I look around my own home, I'll probably find something that I really didn't need to buy. In fact, if I look right now, I'm pretty sure I could spot something. Let's have a look. One second. There you go. It looks cool, doesn't it? As you might have guessed, I used to own a motorcycle in the past, and while I was doing some helmet shopping, I ended up buying this very particular one. I'm not going to go into the details of how much I paid for it because I really don't want to look under that rock, but I just look at this every now and then and start to wonder what really motivated me to buy this. And for a long time I told myself that it was a reputable brand and has high safety standards and blah blah blah. But deep down I kind of knew I was lying to myself, because there are dozens of helmets in the market that are just as safe as this one. And the true reason I really wanted this is because it made me look cool. It made me look like a MotoGP rider. You know, like these guys here. What do you think? So ultimately my point here is, you can watch hundreds of YouTube videos about financial literacy, and don't get me wrong, that's a really good start. But if we don't pay attention to the human factor in this equation, the emotional side will always overpower the rational mind. And it's only by combining financial literacy and emotional awareness, and ultimately emotional control, that we will really stand a chance at turning theoretical knowledge into a living reality. And here's some actions you can start applying from this moment to increase your chances of financial improvement. Number 1, subscribe to this channel. I'm just kidding. Although your contribution to support this very small channel would be greatly appreciated. But on a more serious note, here's something you could do to increase your emotional awareness. Next time you're about to make a financial decision, ask yourself this: what is my true desire behind this? And for the vast majority of humans on this planet, the answer to that question is going to be one of these 5. To be perceived as beautiful, to be respected, to be perceived as powerful, to be loved, and to increase status. And to be honest, my friend, you can even condense these 5 reasons into one core reason deeply engraved into every single one of us. And that is the desire to feel and be important. It's the reason people max out their credit cards on skincare products to feel beautiful and ultimately feel important. It's the reason people choose status increasing careers, even if they hate it, to feel powerful and ultimately feel important. It's the reason people spend all their money on a new girlfriend in the hope to be loved and ultimately feel important. So next time you're faced with a financial decision, get a bit philosophical and ask yourself, what deep desire do I want to satisfy by doing this? And what people do I want to perceive me as important by doing this? Now, this video is not about pointless positivity where I tell you things like,
no one is you and that is your power. you are beautiful and respected the way you are.
Well, sometimes that truly is the case, and it's only by answering those questions and being brutally honest with yourself that you start to realize, actually, I'm alright, and I probably don't need to feel that important to those people. And perhaps now I could use my financial literacy to invest the money elsewhere. But before you invest your money, make sure you avoid this common investing mistake, which you'll find out more about in this video. Okay, I'll see you over there.